interesting live feed, interesting video. If you come across this one, the number of drivers and food delivery drivers calling for a national strike. Some would prefer to call it boycott or protest. I think strike is probably the hardest, the harshest approach. Something that definitely gets the companies, the gig companies' attention, right? And more gig workers are calling for a national strike. Yes, there've been isolated strikes, there've been city strikes, airport strikes, but the movement is growing. Good evening, everyone. The movement is growing towards a national strike. Now this channel, obviously I am the channel, Rideshare Professor, right? I do believe I'm the most vocal YouTuber out there when it comes to advocacy, when it comes to actually being an advocate for drivers, standing up for drivers, helping organize, helping other associations, organizations, unions organize their strikes, protests, boycotts. I've always been there. And I also carefully say that in this arena of strikes, it was definitely not easy, but I'd like to call myself a pioneer in that field, as one of the first people calling for strikes, because I know from past business dealings that strikes do work, especially if you know how to involve the media and the social media. Now what we have on our sides, ladies and gentlemen, are the numbers, are the soldiers, are the generals. Companies, all they can offer once the strike is announced, once the strike is taking place, all they can really do is offer their counter spin, right? But we got to really ask ourselves, why are gig workers, why are rideshare drivers, why are food delivery drivers calling for a national strike? Ask yourself that for 1 second. Why are they calling for a strike? It's because our basic demands, our basic requests have not been met. In fact, they have not even been addressed. In fact, we are not even listened to. So when we constantly ask, beg, request for safety, when we constantly address the poor pay, the poor earnings, the dwindling earnings, the week-to-week numbers that are going down and down and down, the abuse of algorithms dictating your lives, the wrongful deactivations, if none of those are addressed by the companies, they push them aside, they ignore them, they pretend they don't exist, guess what happens? Guess what happens? You and I know what happens. The pressure starts building. The anger starts building. And it's like a pressure cooker, right? You can only hold it down for so long. And if you don't address the core problems, the core issues, if you do not address them, if you do not fix them, the pot explodes, right? The pressure cooker goes off. And this is why I think we are moving more and more closer to a national strike, where I hope that once announced, and by the way, I'll gladly spearhead this. I'll gladly set the ball in motion, right? It takes a lot, right? It's not just, okay, let's come up with this idea of a strike. I mean, a national strike takes a lot of coordination, a lot of money, a lot of participants, a lot of angry gig workers, in fact, right? Because again, if they do not want to listen, if they do not want to address the poor pay, for example, let's use Minnesota, where they were just fighting for the minimum wage, making their threats, threatening. Thank you so much. Rideshare. Throws down $5. I appreciate you, my friend. Did you know Chris from Show Me the Money Club produced videos for Dylan from Rideshare Hub? Awesome. Very cool. Nice to have you. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Now, I think what past strikes have not achieved, right? They've been isolated, they've been city by city. Yes, they have received media attention, social media attention, but what they have not achieved is getting the attention of politicians. If we do a national strike, we have to call out names of national politicians because they are failing us, right? On both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans. And again, I'm saying this very, very clearly for everyone. Democrats and Republicans are failing gig workers big time. So if we do a national strike, if the approach is national and we coordinate it around the day, and again, your suggestions, please, by the way, leave your comments, your suggestions on a date in the... Let's go through the suggested dates and come up with a powerful date that sends a strong message, where it will be easier to get the media and the social media on board. We have the numbers, by the way. We have several million foot soldiers. A national strike is completely doable. It's what gig workers want. It's what gig workers are pushing for. They're fed up. They're sick and tired, right? So this time around, I am not for a little isolated strike. I'm all in for a national strike. And it's what drivers have been asking for, pushing for. And this time around, we have to, at least in the press releases, in the story, in the reasoning, we have to involve the politicians on both sides of the aisle. You are failing us. You are not backing us. A guy like Governor Walz in Minnesota, he failed the gig workers, he failed the drivers, he did not stand up for them. Thank you so much. Big Baltimore is in the house. I appreciate you. Let me just read that out quickly. God bless you, Torsten. Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you so much, A, for your wonderful contribution here, and B, for standing up for drivers, right? Now, if we do a national strike, it will happen. This time around, I will call upon several generals once again. We'll call upon Sergio and Chris from Show Me the Money Club, call upon Harry Campbell, we'll call upon the Rideshare Hub. The Rideshare Hub, by the way, was a big supporter and a big advocate for strikes. He really put the videos out there, not just one, numerous, right? I know that Dylan supported the drivers in the strike. Whether you like him or not, he did stand up for drivers in the strike, which I thought was extremely powerful because he has a massive following. He has a very, very big following. Let's not underestimate the power that numerous YouTubers or social media influencers have together, right? Once we activate the media does turn to you, does turn to us, does turn to the riders and ask, why are you striking? So our message has to be crystal clear. Politicians are not listening to us. Companies are not addressing the fundamentals, the core issues. They're ignoring them. They pretend like they don't hear them. But pay and safety are on top. Wrongful deactivations, and so on and so on and so on. So, yes, we are repeating, sadly, a lot of the big talking points, the core issues. But my friends, it's time for a national strike. It's what drivers, it's what gig workers want. It's what gig workers are calling for. Now the question is, what date and who's in? Who's on board? Who supports a strike? Right? Once we know who's in and that there's willpower and fighting power, you know, then we can really coordinate the logistics, right? But it's a movement I'm excited to be part of. It's due. We need it. We need to fight harder. We need to strike harder. Again, if you want to call it a protest or a boycott, so shall it be. I call it a strike. In the past, I have called for strikes, numerous, and they've been very effective in the media. However, we need all on board, my friends. We need all on board. So, if you're in, do give us a shout out. If you have a suggestion for a date, please put it in the comments box. I appreciate that. I truly appreciate anyone who takes the time and says, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about it. A national strike would be good on this and this date. And here's the reason why, right? My message to Dara Khosrowshahi at Uber, at David Risher, at Lyft, Tony Zhu at DoorDash, and so on and so on and so on. CEO of Amazon Flex, Shipped, Grubhub, Postmates, Bolt. Don't act surprised when drivers rally around a national strike. I don't want these CEOs to act surprised. They have brought it upon themselves. They have brought it upon themselves to be injected into the media and social media. Not in a positive light, obviously, not in a positive light. Because if drivers are begging, asking, pleading for better pay, begging, asking, and pleading for better safety, for better conditions, for addressing wrongful deactivations, too easy to throw. Kirk Travels in the house, thank you so much. Sergio has been promising Vina Dubal on show. Show me the money. Bring her in. Bring her in. I mean, that's what I like about their show, is that they're bringing on good guests. Sergio even said, hey, Torsten, I'll come on your show. Let's address a couple of core things. So I have a lot of admiration. Sergio knows that. I have massive respect for Sergio and Chris on the money, on Show Me the Money. Yes, we've bumped heads in the past when I've called for strikes. Some of them have said in the past, strikes don't work, but strikes do work. You know, we've shown in certain cities, if you do it not just once, if you strike a second and a third time, you get your conditions met. But we need to be far bigger and far larger and far better, my friends. And that is why a national strike is due. And I'm pretty sure once we have ironed out the specifics, what date, what times, right? And again, national is city by city, right? Whether you're at an airport, you know, depending on how we coordinate the strike, if the apps go off, the media will definitely be notified. There'll be enough noise and volume in social media, no doubt about that. And I'm pretty damn sure that people like Sergio, Dylan from the Rideshare Hub, and many other channels will jump on board, right? And a couple of the smaller channels, couple of the smaller YouTube channels that have said in the past strikes don't work, I'm pretty sure they're at that point that they understand that a national strike is needed, right? And what's beautiful about a national strike, it's not like if you do a strike in Chicago, oh, you maybe make the Chicago Tribune, or if you do it in Miami, you make the Miami Herald, or if you do it in New York, you might make the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times. No, every single newspaper gets notified, every editor, every journalist, right? I have a database of 300,000 emails, right? They all get notified. This is why we are doing a national strike. And this is not an isolated airport strike, my friends. This is not an isolated little city strike. No, a national strike is where you potentially involve millions and millions and millions of people, right? And there will always be the desperados, there will always be the defectors on a national strike that, you know, disobey the message, think they're better, and they go out and make a few bucks. Let them be. They don't have the testicles, they don't have the metal balls to stand up and fight. Let them go out and drive while the rest of the country is on a national strike, right? So we have to send a loud and clear message. You're not listening. You are not addressing our issues. Sadly, we have to make this national. And now, my friends, it's just about picking a date, locking in that date, and getting the soldiers ready for war, right? We will go to war with Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, and all of these gig workers on a national strike day, right? July the 3rd to July the 5th, says someone. You see, now we're already getting some productive dates. Someone says, let's strike 3, 4, 5 July. Powerful, 3 days, busy days, big travel weekend, powerful message, powerful dates. How do you feel about July 3, 4, 5? Do you believe a national strike should be 1 day? Or do you believe a strike should be 2 or 3 days or longer? Again, that's another good question. Thank you for addressing that, right? Are we doing a 24-hour strike? Or are we doing a 48-hour? Or are we doing a 72-hour strike? The one thing I do know, if we go national, I also know that our international brothers and sisters will want to be part of that. So if we do go on a national strike in the United States, why not invite more drivers in and make it even more powerful and make it a national and international strike? Why not have drivers in France, in Amsterdam, in Japan, in Australia, New Zealand, in South Africa, and Canada? Why not have everyone participate? Because it's a joint, clear message to the companies. Hey, you have all these independent contractors worldwide, but you are failing to treat them, you're failing to pay them, you're failing to keep them safe. And they make these promises that they will eradicate or wipe out false IDs, false names. They're doing nothing. It's empty words. So on a national strike, we remind these companies and CEOs once again, empty words mean nothing. Action, doing, that's what talks, right? Because if you are not acting on your promises, if you are not living up to the basic fundamentals, the basic demands of a gig worker, you are failing us. And you will be reminded very loud and clear how you are failing us. Pay, safety, taking a rider's word over a driver's word. I mean, throwing it. You know how many wrongful deactivations I deal with and package up for paralegals and attorneys per day, each and every day? 30, 40, 50 different wrongful deactivations, and they all have a common theme. The rider wants a freebie, throws the driver under the bus. Koshashawi, Risha, all of these people don't protect their gig workers, right? It costs the gig worker a lot of money being thrown under the bus with the wrongful deactivations. Now, over at my company, Gig Rocket, which is a collaboration between attorneys, paralegals, and myself, my channel at gigrocket.com, like I said, we handle 20, 30, sometimes 40 wrongful deactivations per day. And they have a common theme, and that is a rider will fabricate something against a driver, and they're off the platform and they're losing money. Now we're in a national strike. We get to talk about that. We get to talk about wrongful deact. We educate, we inform the national media, the newspapers, the blogs, the outlets. What are wrongful deactivations? What are the companies doing about them? Nothing. What are the companies doing about pathetic pay? I mean, you're talking sub-minimum wages. Nothing. What are they doing about all the carjackings, murders, stabbings, now juvenile problem, Uber teen rolling out? What are they doing? So dear CEOs, it's not fun to strike. Thank you, Mackenzie in the house. Can you recommend any good cosmetic brands? I can, yeah. I know many cosmetic brands. In fact, I made my former girlfriend a ton of money. A ton is under. I've done the whole circuit when it comes to supplements and cosmetics, helping an ex-girlfriend build a company, a multi-million-dollar company. So hit me up if you need some help on that one. I myself made a lot of money in that arena. We have 85 people in the house, 33 likes. Smash the like button. Looks like this. Please just hit the like button hard. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Mo is in the house. I'll go through. Mike's in the house. Welcome everyone. And please put your suggestions in the comments box. When do you think? We've got 104 people in the house. Smash the like button. And all those, my question goes out to the 104 people. What do you think is the best date? Chicago's in the house. Chi-Town, shout out. What do you think is the best date for a national strike and why? Appreciate it, James. In the house. We've got 93 people in the house. Dom's in the house. Dom K. I know Dom's ready to strike. David Sink's in the house. I know he's ready to strike. If this is what drivers and food delivery drivers are calling for, we have to answer them with a national strike. We cannot ignore a national strike. And like people in every video, when I watch other people's videos, say, we need a strike, we need a strike, we need a national strike, we need a national strike. We do need it. July the 4th, powerful date. Powerful date. Probably for me the most powerful date. Because guess what it is? It's Independence Day, right? That's where we fight for our independence, right? We're not treated as true independent contractors, by the way. You and I know that. Right? It's a label. The independent contractor label is put upon us. But they're not living up to the independent contractor label, ladies and gentlemen. They're not living up to independent contractorship. They like to call us ICs, they like to call us IC plus, they like to call us independent contractors. However, they're not treating us as such, right? A true independent contractor sets their rates. We don't set the rates, they set the rates. The only bit of independence you have is to really choose when you wish to get into the car behind the steering wheel and switch on the ignition and go and drive for a few hours. That's pretty much the only power you have. Everything else is dictated by these companies. The algorithms dictate, their wrongful deactivations dictate, their lack of safety measures in the app dictates, and all we can do is like swallow, right? Swallow, put up with it, put up with the shit and swallow. But when you've taken enough crap, when you've taken enough abuse, and when they're throwing enough shit at you, eventually you've had enough. That's when you flip, you crack. You've had enough, right? People have had enough. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised that these two words, national strike, are being mentioned more than ever. More than ever. I like July the 4th, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. I feel it's a powerful... Anybody against July the 4th? It's doable. You have the whole month of June to prepare. I mean, literally four and a half weeks to prepare. So we can do it. I know we can do it. So yeah, I'm just coming back from LAX. Went and made some money. Good news. I bought one of the sexiest Broncos you've ever seen. So unique today. I mean, I spent a lot of money on cars. I love cars. Last week I bought 3 cars. I bought a street racer, Mazda RX-8. I bought a 19, and I bought a convertible in 1 week. I buy a lot of cars, I sell a lot of cars. Today I bought the most awesome Bronco you've ever seen, honestly, and I don't say that lightly. This thing has been raised. It looks like a monster truck. I mean, it's about as close as you can get to a monster truck. And I mean, I'll need a ladder. I'll need a ladder to get up into that car. But it's a beast. It's the beast of all beasts. I would like to take that monster truck, actually a good idea, and drive it up and down past the headquarters of Uber and Lyft with pulling a massive trailer, because it gets a lot of attention. Believe me, this Bronco will get so much attention. In fact, I would like to drive it through the window into the reception of the Uber headquarters. I'll think about that. You know, maybe drive straight through the glass, right into, announce it to the media, saying, hey, we're coming there with a monster truck. We pissed off. We're going to drive straight into your headquarters. Show up, media, show up, get the photos. Would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. I mean, this thing is so damn massive. You're gonna like, what? WTF? What did this guy just buy? You've never seen wheels this big on a Bronco. It's like a monster truck. It has a massive 450 engine in it, a Ford 450. So get ready. This ain't no conventional Bronco. We're gonna have to use this. This channel's gonna have to use this car to make some noise. It makes noise. It gets a lot of attention. That's what we need. We need a lot of attention. If I can rush my mechanics, I could maybe get this Bronco ready for the 4th of July. It would be beautiful. The biggest American flag, massive trailer at the back, big message, driving around LA. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. And maybe drivers can follow the Bronco. It is so big. We can pull a big trailer with a big billboard. I'd have to draw some permits, but we could do it. We could do it. But what I would like even more if I could drive through the window into the reception at 1455 Market Street at the Uber headquarters, because I know that'll get the attention. Oh my God, the monster truck just drove into the reception of Uber headquarters. Totally doable. Totally doable. I don't know how many days jail that'll cost me, but it's doable. I mean, we need to do some crazy shit here, ladies and gentlemen, to get the media's attention. National strike, national strike, national strike. Why are we striking, ladies and gentlemen? CEOs, are you listening up? Here's why we are striking. Because you are not listening to us. Because you are not addressing our demands. Because you are not even addressing the minimum demands we have. You're paying us sub-minimum wages. You're not addressing pay. You're not addressing safety. You're allowing wrongful deactivations to go rampant. You are always taking the rider's word over the driver's word. Rider over driver, rider over driver. Rider has more power than the driver, and you do not have our backs. It's sad. It's very sad that these CEOs don't have our backs. Mr. Risha, you've been at the job for 4 or 5 weeks. Show us as the new CEO at Lyft that you have our backs. Show it and prove it to us. Desperate drivers, you're right. I call them the desperados. Sadly, if one would organize a July 4th strike, national strike, you can never count on the desperados. Because desperados are just as desperate as Dara Khosrowshahi. They will drive for any dollar. For any dollar they can make, they will drive. They will not follow and stand up for their fellow drivers, no. They will say, you know, strike, national strike, I'm not participating. I'm going to go out and make some money. Sadly, you cannot change those people. But funnily enough, the funny thing is, those are the first people that benefit and say, oh wow, we got a pay increase, or something's happened on safety. Why? Because your other brothers and sisters went fighting for you while you went out and worked. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way a national strike works is if you follow Bob Marley's message. Get up, stand up for your rights, collectively, together, right? Not little isolated islands, here a driver, there a driver. National, everyone, right? 2 middle fingers. That's what we have to put up on a national strike. I like the July the 4th. I'm warming up to July the 4th. Yeah, Leo's right. The desperados only hurt themselves. They really do. So I think what I'm going to try and do, if I can, I'm going to speak to my mechanics, the people that are wrapping the car. Can I get this giant Bronco and a billboard ready in LA at least, in Los Angeles at least? Let me see if I could get that ready before July the 4th. And again, like every strike, I put a lot of my own dollars in, and we do GoFundMes. People contribute $1, $2, $5. Everything helps, right? Everything helps. But I'm ready. You know, sign me up. I'm ready. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other drivers are ready for a national strike. I mean, how can you survive on these pathetic rates that they're paying? Impossible. Impossible. Unless you're a cherry-picking master champion who really, you know, does not care about the acceptance rate, and you get a couple of good paying trips. If you're chasing every trip these days, you're not making money. You're not making money. So we have 72 people in the house. Please smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like this. Right now it's almost 11 o'clock. Coming back from LAX, made myself a quick 250 bucks. Bots. What, do we have any bots? Which bots? Everybody behaving here? Uber driver supports are full of shit. I mean, come on, they don't even have an Uber support or a Lyft support. Those are generic robots, cut and paste, same bullshit. They're not. You don't. If you do get a live person, it's someone overseas who generally doesn't understand what's going on in your country. That doesn't even understand what rideshare or food delivery is about. They get paid a couple of cents per hour, right? You can hardly understand them because of their accent. It's very, very, very frustrating, right? Customer service would really have to be, you know, if you're looking at American customer service, do it here in the United States. Set up a call center in the United States. If you need customer service for Indian drivers, set up one in India, right? Let Indian customer service deal with Indian drivers. Let American customer service deal with American drivers. You know, let Colombian customer service deal with Colombian drivers. But, I mean, honestly, in all the years that you've driven, or even if you're a newbie, and even if you've just reached out to customer service, I mean, you leave more frustrated than you started, right? So you call them with good intentions, hoping to get things resolved, and you actually put down the phone more frustrated, and more angry, more upset, right? That's really what happens if you deal with customer service. And if someone doesn't understand your problem and is constantly cut and pasting the same BS and sending you the same replies, I mean, it's so beyond disrespectful, right? I mean, why call yourself customer service if you cannot offer customer service? But again, back to national strike, national, international, for me, the same thing, right? Going national is also going international. I know we can get our brothers and sisters across the pond, again, whether in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, France, wherever they are. I know that drivers are ready to rise up for the common cause and be vocal and participate. So let me read out a couple of shout outs. Felix is in the house. I'm parked right now. 79 people in there. Let me give you some shout outs quickly, and please hit the thumbs up. We have John Kilanzo in the house from Kenya. Much love to Kenya. I love Nairobi, man, and Kilimanjaro. I've climbed the Kilimanjaro. Dom is in the house. Mo is in the house. Who else is there? Ellie is in the house. B. Mobilik's in the house. Raymond's in the house from North Carolina. Lorenzo Davis is in the house. Bro, good to see you, my friend. B. Mulik's in the house. Marco Trapoya's in the house. Shout out Carlito's in the house. Australia cares. Much love to Australia. My Aussie friends. You rock. So shout out to all of you wonderful people, wherever you are. We have a lot of different cities and countries. Social's in the house. Together we're strong, my friends. Together we can do this. We're together, man, from Kenya. Love you. Love Kenya. Love, love, love my motherland. I love Africa. Some of my best memories from Africa. I was in the army in Africa. Raymond's in the house. Tony's in the house. North Korea. You wish. You don't have internet there, Tony. Tony from North Korea. You don't have internet, unfortunately. So huge shout out to you all. Kevin's in the house. Hit the like button as you go out. Are you for a national strike? Yes, no. What dates do you propose for a national strike? Put them below. And I appreciate you all. Mike is in the house. Los Lakers says cherry picking. I love it. Daniel Felix in the house. National strike, yes, says Murder Blue. I love it. Sign me in. Sign me up. Why don't you sign me up, Buttercup? We can do it, my friends. We will do it. Not we can do it, we will do it. Let me do a reframing there. 3rd of July, I like it. So, have a good night, everyone. Please, please be safe out there. Watch your surroundings. And we're going to get to work. We're going to get to work. We're going to lock down a date. We're going to get the media involved, social media, everything we do so well. We know how to fight, right? Drivers know how to fight. Drivers have the numbers. We have the soldiers. We have the generals. So we're going to rock their house. We're going to rock San Francisco. We're going to rock every headquarter. We're going to make ourselves very loud, very clear. National and international strike. Thank you, my friends. If you are out on the streets tonight, please be safe. If you are at home, much love to you and your family. Huge shout out here from Cali. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Nike, just do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Just do it. I'm ready. Valid's in the house. I am ready. Sign me up. So I have your back. You know that. I have your back. And let's go to war with these companies. Let's show them who's boss, right? Let's rock the media. Let's rock the social media for a day or 2 or 3. I like July. It's warming up nicely. July the 4th, cuatro. Julio cuatro. Let's do it, baby. Cleaver says, let's do it. Krypton says, yeah, baby. Yeehaw. I like it. Krypton Bot says, yeehaw. That's it. As you leave, this is what the like button looks like. Smash it hard. 77 people now. Smash it as hard as you can. Like Dustin goes, smash it. Roger's in the house. He goes, hell yeah. Let's do it. So I'm excited for all the people. When this video ends, all the people who are going to come into this live stream. Your feedback is appreciated. Your suggestions. Also, let us know why you are striking, right? Here I am trying to talk on behalf of all of you, of all of us. I think we can comfortably say we're striking for better pay. I think we can comfortably say we're fighting for better safety. I think we can comfortably say we are sick and tired of all the wrongful deactivations, right? And treat us with respect. Treat us with dignity. Don't just treat us like trash. Don't have algorithms run our lives. We're better than that, my friends. We're better than that. So rock on, fight, get ready, put on your gloves, and buckle up, right? Put on your gloves, put on your boxing trunks, and get ready for 15 rounds, my friends. Oscar's in the house. We have to be united on this one. Yes, there will be little desperados who will not strike with us, but the power is with us. The media is with us. Social media is with us. We'll have an orchestrated game plan for social media. Everybody can tweet. Everybody can drop a link in Facebook once the dates have been announced. We're going to build a lot of momentum, because the more momentum we build on social media, what I've learned from the past, the journalists, the reporters start contacting you. Aha, I hear you are organizing a national strike. Can you tell us why? Boom, here's why. Here is why. Here is why. So the more we amplify this, the louder we are on social media, believe me, the reporters will come our way. We hear that you are striking. We'd like to run your story. What is your story? And then we will make the message loud and clear why we are fighting. So God bless you all. Have a good night. Get some good rest. Be safe out there. I'm excited for the next live feed. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do it. Much love. David Risher, we're counting on you, brother. We're counting on you. Don't let us down. Goody GP's in the house, New Jersey. Welcome, New Jersey. Oscar Johnson, good night. Good night to all of you. You rock. You are appreciated. Let's fight together, my friends. Let's fight together. Thank you and good.